everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I'm a flight attendant with a major US airline who is currently furloughed. But in today's video, we are going to be doing a get ready with me, a Q&A kind of vibe. I'm gonna be taking this ugly mug from like a 2 to probably a 5. Lower your standards here, really, but yeah, I figured I'm just gonna get ready with me. I'm gonna answer some of the questions that I told y'all to ask me over on Instagram. So if you're not following my Instagram, go follow. That way you can interact with me, see my day-to-day life. But I'm gonna be answering all your questions today. And yeah, I guess let's just dive on in. This was like one of my must-haves. I absolutely love it and use it every time I do my makeup now. And then of course, y'all know the drill. These are my glassesusa.com glasses. I will link some of my favorite pairs down below. And that's definitely wine in there, so this is just gonna be so much fun, you guys. It's gonna be very informal. I have a mirror right here and I have all of my makeup stuff also down below. Y'all know the drill. I will have everything linked in the description box that I am using. I did get a question though about my blush. Somebody was like, girl, you linked your eyeshadow for your blush, and that is because I do use eyeshadow for blush. So if you haven't lowered your expectations yet, you should probably lower them. I mean, as soon as you heard wine with ice cubes in it, you should have known. Okay, so I'm starting with moisturizer. I don't usually do that, but because it's winter, my skin is screamingly dry. I just ordered a bunch of skincare stuff that I'm excited about, but Allie gifted this along with some other stuff. So we're using Laura Mercier, the Perfect Cream Multitasking Moisturizer. It smells really freaking good. Okay, let's kick it off with hardest part about being furloughed. Hardest part about being furloughed is being furloughed. It's really like not flying, especially like my international flights. I love my international flights, so not getting to fly those right now is the hardest part. If you had a chance to film in the show Flight Attendant, would you? Yeah, 100%, but I'll be honest, I haven't seen it though. They're like, we're not giving you a job, you haven't even watched it. But I have been like loving all of the memes, and I know I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm just like a late bloomer. I think I just got that in my eye. How do you stay so positive in these troubling times? You seem to cope really well. When you're at your lowest point, something really positive is generally gonna come on the other side of it. So I'm really focused on like the brighter side, and I try to be as best as I can. And I'm not gonna say I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination. When do you think would be a good time to Okay, well I can't read. When do you think would be a good time to apply to be a flight attendant? Whenever they're hiring. Let me just be very clear. It is hard to become a flight attendant. It takes a lot of time to become a flight attendant usually. Now, if you don't feel safe flying in the pandemic or whatever you've got going on, then definitely like wait until you feel safe. What are the assigned areas for crew members on board? That's actually gonna vary greatly depending on the plane. So we have like assignments for each plane, and they're all gonna be kind of different, and it also depends on what flight attendant number you are. And some of those planes can hold a lot of flight attendants, so by no means am I gonna go over all of like the boarding areas, but generally the lead flight attendant is in the front, the galley flight attendant is in the galley, and everybody else is helping with boarding. Can you explain the seniority levels in your company and function? Okay, so for seniority levels, there's no just level. Like there's not like low, moderate, high like that. It really just depends on base, and it also depends on how many people you have working in your company and what's considered junior versus senior for your company and your base. Because I mean, you could be, let's say New York, which is a junior base, you could be considered senior for that junior base, and then you come out to Dallas, which is a senior base, and you are junior. So it really, really varies depending on where you're based at, depending on who your airline is, what time you got hired, things like that. I'm using Dose of Colors Concealer. Allie also gave me this as well, which is kind of funny because she said it's too light for her. And y'all, this is like my foundation shade. I'm gonna do my concealer also a bit different because I saw this on TikTok and it said like about trying to like lift up your face. So if it's horrible, I'm sorry. We're gonna figure it out together. Oh, that's a lot of concealer, girl. How much do you make as a flight attendant? So this varies depending on the company you work for, whether you're regional, mainline, or a lot of different factors, how many years you've been with the company, things like that. I have a video, no, I'll be honest, it was one of the first videos I made, and I'm not really even looking in the camera, I'm kind of just looking like at myself in the viewfinder. So that's really cute. The information on it is very, very good, but I'm gonna say the quality is not my best work. But if you would like to go check it out, I will link it down below for you. Where do flight attendants and pilots sleep on long flights? So this also depends on the plane you're at. Some planes like the 777 and the 787 and some of those, they have like crew bunk areas, like crew rest areas that are designated for sleeping. When you're on some of the other flights, we might actually sleep in a passenger seat and have it like blocked off. Do you know when you're going to get back to flying? So if y'all have not seen my last video, I will also link that down below, and I talk about this and I talk about some exciting news and some stuff. Okay, so I put some sugar scrub on. While that is going on, we're going to contour and move on to the next question. Do you wear handcrafted press-on nails? I'd love to send you a set. I actually wear Kiss nails almost always. That's what I'm wearing because they last really well when you prep your nail correctly. I've always told this to people because like when I talk to people, they're like, they never stay on. And I'm like, you have to prep your nail correctly and then they'll last you like a week or two, which saves me a lot of money. I still sometimes go to the nail salon and get my nails done as well. And for any of y'all who want to ever write me or send me anything, my P.O. box is always listed in my description boxes. I just went and checked it yesterday and got a bunch of letters that I'm going to be responding to. So yeah, if y'all ever want to send me something, definitely feel free to do that. So how are the new fur babies doing? They are doing so good. It's been a slow process though. It's been a lot of just slowly warming up and slowly getting there, which with Bubba, it was kind of the same thing. I think that's always generally what happens when you get a rescue dog. Smokey warmed up to me instantly. She is like always by my side. She doesn't leave my side except for right now because they don't really like to be in my filming room. And Bandit is like this to me but at a distance, and I just finally got him to start letting me pet him and cuddle with him. So we are becoming closer and closer friends because he always wanted to be around me but didn't want me to pet him. I'm home like 24/7, so it's much easier with me, whereas my husband has to go to work and things like that. So they've been a bit slower to warm up to him only because he's not around as often as I am. But yeah, they're doing really, really good. Congrats on your lipstick line. Any future plans on creating more makeup products? Thank you so much. For those of you who do not know, I have a cosmetic company. I'm going to be wearing some of the products in this video, and my lipstick sold out within like 3 days, which is crazy. My restock is actually coming. So they were shipped to me yesterday, so I'm waiting on the shipping. I'm gonna do quality checks and get things moving. It did take a little bit longer than they had initially told me, but I will let you know as soon as they are back. But as far as future products, I'm actually already in the works of a future product right now. Now, obviously it takes a long time to get things going, so that's why I'm getting started on it, but I am super, super, super excited, and it's gonna be something new and fun and interesting, and hopefully y'all love it as much as y'all have loved my other products. If you're still a student in all classes, online work at your own pace, can you still get hired as a flight attendant? I do know flight attendants who do online classes and things like that, so it's definitely a possibility. But you're just gonna have to know how to balance that schedule for yourself. So it's kind of gonna be on your hands to make sure that you're at work when you need to be at work and you're doing what you need to be doing for school and for work. How are you handling furlough and the pandemic? I would say as good as I could be. How are we all handling it? I don't think anybody's just thriving, right? Well, I mean, whoever owns hand sanitizer and toilet paper companies, I'm sure they're doing fabulous. But for the rest of us, small business owner and peasant people, I mean, that $1,200 check didn't really go too far for most of us. Any updates on your post-op healing? I suspect it's pretty normal. Yeah, so for those of you who do not know, I got my boobs back done. I got my boobs done back in February. They're great. I love everything about them. My doctor was great. He knew everything that he's talking about. I've actually talked with him about partnering up on their med spa side. So hopefully that will be coming soon. I was supposed to do that earlier in the year, but obviously COVID changed some things around. So like the facials and that sort of stuff, the injectables, the cool sculpting, all that area is like more med spa versus like cosmetic surgeries. So for those of you who do not know, I went to Dr. Abaid at North Texas Plastic Surgery. So if you ever go, just let them know I sent you over there. But they are great. Like they really know what they're doing. The staff is so stinking nice from beginning to end. My whole experience was 10 out of 10. Really, really, really good. Like I have nothing bad to say about them. So how did you go about getting your LLC? I actually have 2 LLCs. I have one that my YouTube stuff goes through, and I also have one for the cosmetic company. And I actually used LegalZoom. I don't know how much I would really recommend LegalZoom, but to start off with, it was fine. It got the job done. It made it easy. But using them as a registered agent was kind of unnecessary, and I actually switched to using my CPA as my registered agent once I found a good CPA. But it's also gonna depend on how you get your LLC, depending on what state you're operating out of and stuff like that. You're definitely gonna have to do your research, and I am by no means an expert in any of that. So do your research, meet with a CPA, meet with a tax lawyer, do whatever you need to do to get it all situated, because it's the government stuff. So you don't wanna be like messing that up or going wrong. Sometimes during these Q&As, I fall so off the radar. I didn't contour, I didn't do blush, I didn't do highlight. I went straight into some kind of eye makeup. So I can't believe I literally forgot all that. I was like, why does my face still look like a potato? Oh well. I mean, I told y'all, lower your expectations. This is just gonna be a 2 to a 5. We're not going 2 to a 10. Not that I've ever really experienced a 2 to a 10. I'm a 2 to a 7 at best. What tattoos do you have? A lot. I don't know how many I have, but I know for sure it's over 20. And they're all over the place. Have you ever slept on a flight? Yes, but only when I'm authorized to sleep on a flight. Now, there have been times where I'm like, whoopee, I am tired, and I have slumped down into drinking plain coffee, which I don't drink plain coffee. But there have been some times where I'm like, girl, you're about to drink this plain coffee. So there's times when I've been exhausted, but you cannot fall asleep when you are not authorized to sleep on the job. Like, that is a surefire way to get yourself fired. So don't be doing that. But yeah, I've definitely had times where I've been like so stinking exhausted, and something's in that jumpsuit that just makes you tired. But no, I've only slept when I've been authorized to sleep, to go on break and take naps, like on those international flights. Do you ship your products to Canada? Yes, I ship completely internationally. Tips for flying with kids for the first time. Now, I don't have kids, so take this with a grain of salt. Allie does have kids, so if you want firsthand experience of somebody with kids, flying with kids, she's a great person to go follow. But I would personally say, like from the outside looking in, bring entertainment. And also, sometimes airplanes do not have TVs in them, or sometimes you get a seat and that TV is not working, or the head jack thing is not working, and it won't be able to be fixed. So prepare for that just in case. Bring like a tablet, bring a phone, bring whatever, bring a charger, bring headphones, bring all that stuff, bring coloring books, bring whatever you need to do to entertain that kid, especially if it's a long flight. Okay, so what was your favorite thing about being based in Charlotte and DFW? They're both very, very senior bases. I think Charlotte is a little bit more senior than Dallas, only because there is fewer people. Dallas is a much bigger base than Charlotte. So in that aspect, in Charlotte, I do miss that it's smaller. So when you're sitting standby or something, there's only one crew room. So you're all in the same place usually, unless like somebody doesn't want to stay in the crew room. But you see the same faces over and over again more often. Now, I mean, it's still a decent sized base. So there's still like times where you'll fly with somebody and never see them again. I mean, you're not seeing anybody like as often as maybe like a regional airline or like a smaller mainline airline. But I mean, you still see them more frequently than say Dallas. Dallas is such a huge base that like, I mean, even when you're sitting standby, they assign you literally to a terminal. Like that's how big the airport and the base is for us. And there's so many different crew rooms. So it's very, very likely that you will see somebody and never see them again. With Dallas, the flying is better. I would say out of the two, I definitely prefer Dallas to Charlotte, but there are certain things that I do miss about Charlotte. Are you and your husband going to try for a baby now that you're furloughed? no. We don't want kids. We're not anticipating ever wanting kids. If I had it my way, I would just have like an entire place of just like animals and rescues, and yeah, I would love that. Like a little pet sanctuary in like Bubba's name would be amazing, but I don't see kids in my future. If that changes, I will let you know, but I don't think it's gonna change. What is going on with this? What hair products do you use? Your hair is always beautiful. Love your channel. Olaplex has been my saving grace. I've used the Zero treatment that one time that was in the video, and then I use the 3 is the big one. I mean, I know they can be a little bit pricey, so if you can only invest in one, make sure to invest in the 3. But I use the 3, I'll put it in my hair and then like leave it in for like an hour or 2 and then go shower. And I use the 4 and the 5, which is the shampoo and conditioner. And then when I get out, I use a little bit of the 6. And then I like to use a couple of different products in my hair. The 2 really ones that I like, I'll try and link them down below. What are some tips you have for somebody who wants to be a flight attendant? Get customer service experience if you don't already have it. Apply to as many airlines as you possibly can. Now, some people get lucky and they get hired the first go round, but I would say mass majority of people do not get hired on their first interview, and it takes quite a bit, and then you just learn and you see and you move on to the next thing. But remember, safety and customer service are the 2 things that it really takes to be a flight attendant. Smile. I know like y'all have heard this time and time again, but it's so true. Your like cheeks should be burning from the amount that you're smiling. Tips on hustling to your next gate. So I would definitely say if you know you might have a chance of having to hustle from one gate to the next, just look it up and prepare yourself ahead of time, and then knees to chest it and don't get distracted. I've tried so many other eyeliners and I always come back to this one. It's just a classic, and it's actually by Maybelline. That's like their Master Precise All Day. And every time I'll try something else and I'm like, maybe this is better. It's never better. This is always where it's at. Tips and tricks for turbulence. You just have to know you're not going anywhere. You're not falling out of the sky. It's literally like a bump in the air. That's it. So, I mean, think of like an air thing, and it's like, dude, and so you're on the plane, you're like, dude, like along with the air bump, but you're not gonna go, dude, and just fall out. That's not gonna happen. So I think understanding how turbulence works makes people a little bit more calm. And like, usually we know turbulence is coming and they do everything to avoid it, but honestly, I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of flying is turbulence. Can I get hand-me-downs from your closet? I love that. So I would say like 90 to 95% of my closet is stuff that I thrift. I'm big into thrifting clothes and secondhand clothes shopping. Now, I do sometimes buy stuff off the rack and then I go donate it, which I actually have a big pile that I need to go take to the donation center right now. How did being in the public eye help you grow emotionally? You're amazing, by the way. So being in the public eye for me is a little bit, it's strange because half of me is like, yeah, you're in the public eye, and the other half of me is like, girl, you ain't nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, part of me is like, I feel like I have a presence, or I guess I do know I have a presence online, but at the other part, I'm like, your presence isn't that big. So it's a very weird mix. But I would say since I'm more in the public eye than most people, it definitely makes your skin a bit thicker. You gotta have some tough skin because people love to ruffle feathers. People have tons of opinions about how you should be living your life and what you should be doing, which I always find so funny because half of us, myself included, can barely handle dealing with our own lives. So to meddle in somebody else's is so weird to me. I personally cannot imagine getting on the internet to troll somebody. Like, that's such a weird concept to me, but some people find that like so fun. So I definitely think like when you're going to be on the internet and you're going to put your life online to whatever degree that you want to do for yourself, you better come ready because people are always gonna have something to say, good, bad, great, ugly, whatever it is. Y'all know I'm using my Cat Eye Cosmetics lashes. These are the ones in Siamese. I've been wearing them almost all month long. I've been asked quite a bit about how to make your lashes like last so long and things like that, and really like stop putting mascara on them. I think that's like the #1 thing that I see a lot of people doing, and it always makes me cringe because your lashes can last so long if you stop putting product on your lashes. Like, put the product on your lashes like I just did with mascara beforehand, and then put your lashes on, and if you need to blend them any more than that, just lightly kind of pinch them together, but don't put mascara on the lashes. I've been loving, I have absolutely been loving my Siamese lashes lately, but also been wearing my Persian lashes a lot as well. Okay, but I'm gonna put this other one on, and I can see my camera battery is about to die, so I'm gonna apply this, switch the battery out, and we'll be right back. Are you glad you're gonna get Christmas off? And when do you hope to fly again? So again, if you haven't watched my last video, go watch my last video. But I don't have anything planned for Christmas, so I would have gladly worked. Like if it came down to working Christmas and having like my flight attendant job back, I would take my job back in a heartbeat. I mean, that's half of it when you sign up to be a flight attendant, is like they ask you, are you okay with working weekends and holidays? And like when they say that, they mean, are you okay with working weekends and holidays? Like, you will be working weekends and holidays. Have you ever boarded a flight and started working and then realized you aren't working that flight? No, because you cannot even get onto that plane unless you are working that flight. Like, even if they call you last minute, let's say I'm sitting standby and last minute they go put me onto a flight to work that flight. If they have not updated that roster to prove that I am working that flight, they will not let me go down to that plane. It's not happening. So they are very, very strict about like you needing to have your name on that roster to be anywhere close to that plane, or you're not going. That's like a safety protocol. So no, that would never happen. Not to just like toot my own horn, but I also love like how small this applicator is, because it really allows you to apply it without even like really needing a lip liner, which is nice. Do you have any seasonal Starbucks order, any new coffee combos you're doing? No, I'll be completely honest. I skipped over their seasonal stuff. This is about to end up messed up. I'm trying to like talk and do this at the same time. I skipped over their seasonal stuff this year. I went straight for the skinny vanilla latte. That's like my go-to. It's a grande skinny vanilla latte with 2 sweetened. Yeah, I've been on the skinny vanilla latte train for a hot minute and I can't seem to get off. So this is stuff called a Vinay. I'm pronouncing this so wrong. I think this is, yeah, it's from Paris, so it's French, so I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Thermal spring water, and Allie gave me this also, so I don't know if this is setting spray or not, but this is probably literally just water, and I'm just spraying my face with water after I put all this makeup on. I'll spray a little bit of this, just in case that is just water. I see there's still like a lot of questions. Oh my God, I didn't even get through not even close to half of them. So maybe I'll do another Q&A really soon. I'll hang on to those questions so I can kind of answer some more of y'all. But let me know down below if y'all want me to do another Q&A, if y'all like something like this. Maybe I'll craft instead of doing a get ready with me or something. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.